Hello friends and my dear students. As per the new syllabus of State Board, in the chapter number 8, in the first part of this, we have studied about the respiration in plants, animals and in human. Along with that, we have studied the mechanism of respiration in human and some disorders related to it. In this chapter, the second part is the circulation. Now let's start with the transportation in living organism. Transportation in organism and animal, it takes place by the process of diffusion and by the active transport between the cells. The cyclosis is a streaming movement of cytoplasm. It is shown by almost all living organisms. For example, the paramecium, amoeba, which are the aquatic, they are showing this type of the movement. The root hair cells of many plants and the WBCs present in the blood cells, they also showing this type of the movement. If the transportation takes place within the cell, is called intracellular transport, and if the transportation takes place between the body cell to the environment, is called extracellular transport. In this extracellular transport, as we know, the animals which are prefer to live in aquatic habitat, that is the hydra, or which are belongs to the phylum Porifera, they can exchange the gases to the aquatic condition as well as the environment and can survive. Now, the circulation in animals. The types of blood vascular system. Here, two types of blood vascular systems are present. The first is the open type of blood vascular system and second is the closed type of vascular system. In this open type of circulation, the blood is circulated throughout the body cavities of the animals. Here, in this type of the organism, the visceral organs, they are completely absent. There is absence of veins, capillaries, arteries. The exchange of the material, that is the blood, it takes place from the cells or tissues of the body. The blood flows with the low respiratory pressure and usually it does not contain the respiratory pigment, that is the hemoglobin, which is responsible to give the red color to the blood. For example, the cockroach. This diagram shows the open type of circulatory system present in the cockroach. Here, no presence of the arteries, veins and capillaries. Directly they can exchange between the cells or tissues. Closed circulation. In all the vertebrates, higher mollusks and annelids, the blood is circulated all over the body through a network of blood vessels. In this type of circulation, blood flows within the blood vessels and it does not come in direct contact with the cells and body tissues. Exchange of material between blood and body tissues through an intermediate fluid known as lymph. Blood flows with high pressure and contain respiratory pigment hemoglobin gives the red color to the blood, or it is also known as oxygen carrier protein. The types of closed circulatory system. In a single circulation, the blood passes through heart only once during each cycle. It is found in fishes. The deoxygenated blood is pumped from heart towards gills and undergoes oxygenation. This oxygenated blood move towards various body parts and get deoxygenated again back return to the next cycle. The heart of fishes carries only deoxygenated blood. It is also called the venous heart. This diagram shows how the single circulation takes place. Now double circulation. In double circulation, the blood passes through heart twice during each cycle. For example, the birds, mammals, they shows the double circulation, their presence. In these animals, heart pumps deoxygenated blood to lungs for oxygenation and it returns to heart as oxygenated blood is called pulmonary circulation. The oxygenated blood is pumped from towards various body parts and return back to heart as a deoxygenated blood is called closed systemic circulation. Here, this diagram shows the schematic representation how the double circulation mechanism present in these evolved animals, that is the birds and the mammals. The two types of the circulation takes place or while passing the blood, the twice it has to pass through the heart. Therefore, this mechanism is under heading double circulation mechanism. Again, this diagram showing the pulmonary circulation as well as the systemic circulation. The circulatory system in humans. The blood vascular system in human is made up of blood, heart and blood vessels. It is responsible for various functions like transport, homeostasis and protection. The blood composition. The study of blood is known as hematology. On an average, in adult human body, near about 4 to 6 liter blood is present, which is a red colored fluid connective tissue and derived from embryonic mesoderm. It is slightly alkaline, pH 7.4, salty and viscous fluid. It is heavier than water and made up of fluid plasma near about 55% and other blood cells are 45%. Here, this diagram shows the composition of blood. The plasma is about the 55 to 60% and the other blood cells, that is the RBCs, WBCs and platelets near about 45%. Again, this plasma is made up of the water as well as the solids. And these solids, they are inorganic components as well as the organic components. The water is about the 90% present. The proteins, that is the albumin, globulin, prothrombin, fibrinogen 7 to 8%. Inorganic salts, they are 1%. The other salts 1 to 2%. Here we can see the diagram how the plasma is get separated from our blood. While the technique by using the centrifugation, the separation of plasma from human blood, it will be takes place. The settled particle, they are showing the blood cells made up of the RBCs, WBCs and platelets, and these yellow colored, straw colored substances, they are showing the 55% plasma. The blood cells, they are produced in the body, they are collectively known as the formed elements. These are follows in the human blood. This chart you are showing which type of blood cells are present in our body. The RBCs, WBCs and platelets. Again, these WBCs are divided into granulocytes and non-granulocytes. The granulocytes, they are showing the presence of the granules in the cytoplasm of a cell, and agranulocyte or non-granulocytes, they are showing the absence of the granules in the cytoplasm of a cell. The granulocytes are divided into eosinophils, basophils and neutrophils. Agranulocytes divided into monocytes as well as lymphocytes. This diagram you are showing the blood smear get prepared, and in that blood smear also we can observe the different types of the cells present in blood, that is the RBCs, platelets, eosinophil, neutrophil, basophil, monocyte. Now let's start with the different cells, their origin, normal range, function, lifespan. Now first is the red blood cells. Their formation takes place in a red bone marrow. The RBCs is about the 5.1 to 5.8 million per cubic mm. They are present on an average in male, and in female 4.3 to to 5.2 million per cubic mm they are present in female. Their size is about the 8 micron in diameter, and their main function is to carry the oxygen and CO2 from the cells. The lifespan of RBCs is near about 120 days. Now the WBCs. The formation of WBCs takes place in the red bone marrow, and the lymphocytes they are get formed in the thymus and red bone marrow. The normal range is near about the 6000 cells per cubic mm and lymphocytes 2000 per cubic mm. The average diameter of the granulocyte is the 25 micron and lymphocyte is 10 micron. The function of granulocytes, they are nothing but to engulf the foreign particle, and lymphocytes plays the role in the formation of antibodies, means indirectly they perform the function of the defense mechanism. The lifespan of the granulocyte, they are few hours to few days. Now the platelets. The formation of platelets takes place in red bone marrow. Their normal range is near about the up to the 2 lakh to 4.5 lakh per cubic mm. The main function of this platelet is the clotting of blood, and lifespan is 2 to 8 days. This diagram shows the structure of RBCs, which are showing the absence of nucleus. Only nucleated RBC present in camel. Now this diagram shows the granulocytes and the agranulocyte detail. Now first is the neutrophil. The neutrophil, they are very fine, large in number, and they are near about the 70% of total WBC. They are able to perform the amoeboid movement. They are phagocytosis in function. The eosinophil, they are also known as a acidophile because they are stained with acidic stain like eosin. The eosinophil are about 1 to 3% of the total WBCs. The nucleus present in that, it is the bilobed. They destroy the antigen antibody complex by phagocytosis. Their number increases in allergic condition, and they show antihistaminic property. They are also responsible for detoxification as they produce the antitoxins. The basophil. These cells, they have few granules, large size. They are stained with the basic stain like methylene blue. The basophils are non-phagocytic, small. The spherical cells, they are near about the 0.5 to 1% of the total WBCs. The nucleus is twisted. They are present in infected and allergic condition only, and the main role of a basophil is they secrete heparin, histamine and serotonin. Heparin is an anticoagulant which prevents the clotting of blood. The next are the agranulocyte. They are about 28% of total WBCs of cytoplasm. The lymphocytes are the smallest of all WBC and have a large spherical nucleus. They constitute about 25 to 30% of a total WBCs depending upon function. Two types of lymphocytes are present, that is the B lymphocyte and T lymphocyte. B lymphocytes mature in bone marrow and are responsible for antibody production. It is a highly specific antigen antibody immunity. T lymphocyte mature in thymus and are responsible for cell mediated immunity. Helper T cells, killer T cells, memory T cells and suppressor T cells are four main subtypes of T lymphocytes. The monocytes. The monocytes are the largest of all WBCs. It is the nucleus is large bean shape or kidney shape. It is about 3 to 5% of the total WBC. The monocytes are actively motile and give rise to macrophages. They are mainly phagocytic in function. They destroy the bacteria and dead or damaged tissue by the process of phagocytosis. Here, this diagram shows the different types of the WBCs. The first three diagrams, that is the neutrophil, eosinophil and basophil, they are showing the granulocytes, and this monocyte, lymphocyte, they belongs to the group agranulocytes. Now the platelets. They are the cellular fragment formed the large cells called megakaryocyte. They are produced in bone marrow. They are very small oval shaped cell fragment without nucleus. If the number of thrombocyte decreases, then the normal condition is called thrombocytopenia, and this condition causes internal bleeding. Platelets secrete the factor which is essential for the blood clotting. They are also seal the ruptured blood vessel by formation of platelet plug or thrombus. They secrete serotonin, a local vasoconstrictor. Here, this diagram shows how the process of blood clotting takes place. The clotting or coagulation, it is the process of converting the liquid blood into a solid form. This process is initiated by contact of blood with any foreign substances. That may be the intrinsic process, or with a damaged tissue, extrinsic process. In intrinsic and extrinsic processes involve interaction of various substances called clotting factors by a stepwise or cascade mechanism. There are in all 12 clotting factors numbered as first to 8. Factor 6 is not in active use. Interaction of these factors in a cascade manner leads to formation of the enzyme thrombin. Thromboplastin helps in the formation of enzyme prothrombinase. This enzyme inactivates heparin, and it also converts inactive prothrombin into an active thrombin. Thrombin converts soluble blood protein fibrinogen into insoluble fibrin. Fibrin forms a mesh in which platelets and other blood cells are trapped to form the clot. Blood clotting occurs as the diagram they are showing the stages, how the steps takes place and how the clot is get formed.